is Amanda Halverson, and I will be presenting to you today on how we are creating writers within first grade classrooms. In my first grade classroom, we are always adjusting our teaching methods and ways to fit the best practices. Some best practice strategies that are implemented into first grade classrooms include modeling the writing process, using a variety of mentor texts for each genre of writing, working with the whole class on new concepts like revising, editing, and then scaffolding when appropriate, such as using graphic organizers, creating a positive writing environment to encourage new writers, and providing authentic writing opportunities to make their writing meaningful. These best practice strategies are not only appropriate for first graders, but for all writers of all ages. The goal of every curriculum is to teach and guide kids to their potential. Some big goals I have for this writing curriculum include an age-appropriate development spectrum and support interventions built into the lessons for all writers of all levels. I also have a goal of creating kid-friendly I can statements so the kids can understand the goal of the writing time. Obviously, the more engaging and interactive the lessons are, the more kids will interact and engage with the material and thus learn more. So keeping those appropriate for each grade level with common interest at that age group is vital. Having observable and measurable goals for not only kids but teachers as well. Having the child recognize what they need to work on and what they excel at is an important step in the development of writing. And last, let's just get them writing. Writing is put on the back burner in so many schools, so let's find ways to integrate writing across all subjects. How do I ensure all the writers are meeting the writing standards? Well, I do this by intentionally teaching explicit writing content first. Then I may work with the class whole group or small group on different concepts. I also make sure to conference one-on-one with students to talk about their writing and evaluate how their writing is progressing. At this time, I may also use anecdotal notes or even a rubric to evaluate their writing. How do I ensure all students are developing as writers? My answer is similar to how I ensure they meet the standards. I conference with them and set goals of what to work on during this time. Later on, I will look for the application of this new learning in their writing. I will also utilize checklists and rubrics for both the writers and teachers, as this can be helpful for the kids to know and see what is expected of them and their writing. As we all know, reading and writing are tightly interwoven with each other. When we read, we are required to have some background knowledge in terms of context, spelling patterns, different genres of books, etc. When the child has a wider span of background knowledge, it is shown that they also have more descriptive writing. When the kids have a small span of background knowledge, it often will also show in their writing, lack of description and understanding of different genres. So giving them a variety of books to dive into can help build that essential background knowledge. By practicing retelling a well-loved story like The Three Little Pigs, it allows the learner to identify the three main parts of the story, beginning, middle, and end. Because they can identify it in stories, it is likely to transfer into their writing to create a well-rounded story with a decent plot and characters. It is important that as teachers we model what is right, not what is wrong. Think of it this way. When we read aloud to students, do we read it wrong or right? We read it right because good fluency can help improve reading. When we teach writing, we must also model it right so they can understand what good writing looks and sounds like. In response to the New York Times article titled "Why Kids Can't Write," in order to prevent what happened in the school district in New York, we must do the following. First, we must get a reputable curriculum and take the time and money to educate and train our teachers in writing instruction. Many teachers do not feel comfortable or confident in teaching writing, so providing a well laid out curriculum will be important. We need to empower teachers to write with kids and on their own at home. This will make them feel more comfortable writing in front of kids and give them a better understanding of what the kids experience during this writing process. We must create authentic writing experiences for the kids, making writing more meaningful. Sometimes writing can be swept under the rug because it's seen as just another thing we have to do at school. But by making it meaningful to the kids and adults, they will have an increase in engagement and motivation to write when they know an audience will be reading it. Fourth, having interactive and fun sessions will make it more engaging. No one wants to sit and listen to a teacher lecture on different parts of writing. Make it engaging. Have them share or write with a partner. It's okay to get silly with writing. Fifth, we must give clear feedback to teachers and kids, as this will help increase confidence. Knowing what needs to be improved and worked on, and what is already good, can help a writer understand what they need to work on. Give explicit writing instruction the first time, and conferencing with kids one-on-one can assure that each kid is working on their own pace and achieving goals that are pertinent to them. And lastly, here are some look-fors that we need to consider in a writing curriculum for grades K through 5. The first item we should be looking for in a writing curriculum is how it encourages young writers. It should also have a spiral review of past concepts so the kids never totally forget what they have learned. It should include visual anchor charts to help remind the kids of new writing concepts or ideas that had been taught. A variety of writing papers should also be included to encourage all sorts of writing. A conferring schedule or anecdotal notes. This will help guide lesson plans and keep tabs on students. Sample writings should be included to help model and demonstrate what a good piece of writing looks and sounds like and what may not sound good. It should also include writing rubrics, which are ways to grade writing and understand what is expected of writers. It should include writing checklists for students and teachers to help identify all major components in a piece of writing while editing and revising. Of course, there should be mentor texts to help model and show great writing. And last but not least, there should be some form of pre-assessment and end celebration to amp up the excitement and end the unit on an exciting note. And the pre-assessment is important because it will give you an idea of where that writer is at before you begin the unit. All of these are important because they help the child become a confident writer with just the right amount of scaffold and support. It also is helpful to the teacher because it provides those writing checklists, mentor texts, and conferring schedule to make sure they are checking in with all their writers. A curriculum that has all of these embedded in it would be the best curriculum for grades K through 5. Thank you for your time today.